Hello. Today I'm reading the fourth instalment of Horse Crazy. I think last time we got up to the stage where the girls had been riding the new drover, who's really a Brumby, and today is the first time Sam's dad is going to ride the horse. So here we go. This chapter is called Test Drive. The next day Bill got ready for his weekly tour of the town. Please don't do anything stupid, Sam whispered into new drover's ear. Drover gave a little snort of surprise as Bill swung into the saddle and his full weight settled on her back. Bill turned to ride out the gate and Drover didn't respond. Old Drover would have felt a shift of his body and moved off, but the new Drover just stood still. Bill had to squeeze with his legs to make her go. Sam quickly went to her head and led her through the gate. "What's gotten into her?" said Bill. "She's acting like a drongo." He turned the mare towards the town and kicked her forwards. Sam crossed her fingers. "Have a lovely ride, Dad. Don't fall off." Sam bit her lip. "He thinks I'm joking," she said to Pants. Sergeant Bill Cooper loved riding through the town. It was a good way to keep in touch with people. He saw all sorts of things from the back of his horse that he'd never see from his car. He always took the same route, so nobody thought he was sneaking around. But today his horse's mind was not on the job. She wobbled and weaved as though she had no idea where she was going and stared at everything. Bill had to ride her like a green horse that knew nothing. So here he's when he's just got on, and here he is going through the town. "Hey Bill," Mick Daly, the baker, called from over the street. "I want to ask you something." Bill steered Drover across, expecting her to stop in front of Mick, but Drover walked right up close until Mick's face was pressed against her mane. "Whoa there, horse," said Mick, stepping back. "Hasn't she heard about personal space?" "I don't know what the story is, mate. She's acting very strangely." The two men chatted for a while, but when Mick walked back inside his bakery, Drover followed him right into the shop. Bill had to duck quickly to fit under the doorway. Drover stopped at the counter and Bill looked down at Mrs. Bowman, who was putting a poppy seed loaf into her shopping trolley. "I don't think the health inspector would approve of a horse in a food store," Mrs. Bowman sniffed. "Even a police horse." She minced out of the shop with her trolley and Mick burst out laughing. "It's pretty funny, Bill, but you better get her out of here. I could be fined." There's a lovely drawing Roland's done of the street and the horse going into the bakery. And then down here you can see him with his face pressed up against her mane. "I might not be able to keep her after all, Sam," said Bill, watching the mare roll in the paddock after the ride. "She's been such a good horse until now, but today she was a real dodo." Sam wanted to tell her dad the truth right then, but it was such a big thing to confess. When he told her all the odd things Drover had done, her heart sank. "Did you laugh when she ate the flowers on Mrs. Milson's hat?" she asked, hanging up the bridle. "I wanted to, but I had to be serious. I'm the policeman, and I've got a horse that's breaking the law." He picked up Pants and scratched her back. "The trouble is, I don't know if I can trust her. Next weekend I have to take her to the Baxter show. They want a mounted officer there, and Charlie Craig's horse is lame." He put Pants down, stretched and yawned. "I wish she hadn't started acting so strangely just when I have to put her to the test. The train line goes through Baxter right next to the showground. What if she freaks out at the 2:30 train?" Sam patted her dad on the back. "She'll be fine, Dad. I bet you anything she won't worry about the train." She hurried inside to ring Bonnie. This new drover might do some weird things, but she had no reason to be scared of trains. And there she is with her dad sitting on the porch. I hope the light's okay. It's a bit glary out here. I read it here so you could look at the nice autumn leaves while I was reading. The next chapter is called The Baxter Show. Bonnie and Sam led Drover past the Ferris wheel and the Dodgem cars. Bonnie talked to her all the time in her secret horse language. The mare was calm, although she looked wide-eyed at all the action going on around her. People kept stopping to admire her beautiful silver grey coat. "We're taking her to meet my dad at the cattle shed," Sam explained for the 8th time. Drover took a bite from a little boy's fairy floss, and Sam and Bonnie quickly led her on. "I hope she'll be okay, Bon," said Sam. "It would be terrible if something went wrong because of what we've done. She'll be fine. Now she knows your dad, she'll be much better. Look, there he is." And look, there you can see Roland's. I'll see if I press this, it might go a bit. Oh no. Roland's lovely picture of the Baxter show. I love all the little details he puts in. Bonnie and Sam sat on the arena fence watching the dressage horses go round and round. Chocolate Charm was in the final for champion hack of the show. She moved through her workout like a well-oiled Rolls-Royce, her brown coat shining in the sun, saddlery gleaming. The girls clapped and cheered when the red, white and blue champion sash was put around Choco's neck. They were heading for the arena exit when a siren suddenly howled over the loudspeaker. "Sergeant Bill Cooper, calling Sergeant Bill Cooper. We have an emergency. Come straight to the tent in the main arena." Sam watched her father gallop across the ground. "She's going good for him, Bonnie." It was true. The mare did seem calm and confident. And there's a picture, and you can see Bill galloping across here. "You have to help us." A desperate woman rushed towards Bill. Her eyes were red from crying. "Our little girl has disappeared. She was right beside me on her trike, and then all of a sudden she was gone." Bill quickly took down the details and organised a message over the loudspeaker. "We have a missing child at the Baxter Showgrounds. Kimberly Mills is 2 years old and was riding her red plastic tricycle near the Ferris wheel when she disappeared. She has blonde curly hair and is wearing purple overalls and a white t-shirt. I repeat, we have a missing child." Bill raced away to search for the little girl. Suddenly there was a scream from behind the showground toilets. Bill galloped Drover around the tumble-down building, and there was Kimberly's mother pointing into the distance. Behind a hedge of blackberries was a laneway, and right at the end of the lane was a small purple figure. "Can you see her? That's her. I know it's her." "You better be quick," said an elderly man. "The railway line's at the end of that lane." Bill suddenly felt afraid. Railway line. Oh no, he looked at his watch. There's a train coming in 5 minutes. Bill rode Drover up to the blackberry hedge. He had no choice but to jump it. Nobody on foot could reach the little girl in time. He didn't think Drover had ever jumped anything as big and rough as this hedge. He cantered back a short way, turned and set the mare at the tangled barrier. Bonnie and Sam had raced to the toilets when they heard the scream. A crowd followed behind them. They came around the corner just as Bill and Drover galloped at the hedge. There you can see the horse leaping over the blackberry hedge. "Go, Dad," Sam yelled as Drover flew over the blackberries. The mare raced down the laneway. The ground was rough and rutted with snarls of blackberries reaching across it, but Drover didn't stumble. She tore towards the railway line faster than Bill thought she could move. From close by came the woo-hoo of the train. "Come on, girl," Bill said to Drover. "Don't freak out at the train. I need you to be brave." It seemed to take forever to reach the railway line. Every time the train whistled, Bill felt a cold hand clasp his heart. Suddenly Drover turned so fast that Bill had to hang on with everything he had. Now you can see the train coming. Oh, running short of time. He could see Kimberly ahead of him. She had pushed her trike onto the train tracks and was kicking it along with her chubby little legs. "Woo-hoo!" Bill glanced over his shoulder as Drover leapt up onto the tracks. The train was coming closer and closer. Surely the driver could see him. "Kimberly," he shouted, "get off the track." The toddler turned at the sound of her name, and Bill shuddered to see how helpless she was. He urged Drover forwards. Behind him he could hear the squeal of the train's brakes. The little girl looked up in terror as the horse galloped towards her. Drover didn't shy away. It was though she knew exactly what Bill needed to do. Bill leant out of the saddle, way out and down. As Drover galloped past, he grabbed Kimberly by the back of her purple corduroy overalls and lifted her to safety. There's a great picture of him doing it. Drover veered off the train tracks, scrambling down the back like a cat, and slowed to a canter, then a stop as the train roared safely past. The train driver was leaning out his window looking back. Bill gave him a wave to let him know everything was all right. The little girl hadn't uttered a sound, but now she said, "Horsey!" "That's right," said Bill, settling her on the pommel of his saddle. "She's a wonderful horsey." He could hear the cheer from the crowd at the showgrounds as soon as they turned down the lane. Drover worked quietly, sides heaving after the gallop. Kimberly babbled and laughed. Her parents raced towards them, and Bill passed the little girl down. It was only then that he realised she was still sitting on her trike. When he'd scooped her up, she'd held onto the plastic handlebars, and the trike had come with her. I better stop because I'm nearly up to 10 minutes, so I'll keep going. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.